China fire on U.S. warships sail through Taiwan Strait. A day after a U.S. Navy warship and a Coast Guard cutter streamed through the Taiwan Strait, China on Saturday lashed out against the U.S., calling it the biggest threat to peace and stability. A statement posted on the Chinese Defense Ministry's website called the move provocative, adding that it showed that the U.S. is the biggest threat to peace and stability and creator of security risks in the 160-kilometer-wide Taiwan Strait. "We express firm opposition and strong condemnation," the statement was quoted by the Associated Press. In Saturday's statement, China also called Taiwan an inalienable part of China. Beijing will not tolerate any interference in what it called its internal affairs, it added. Guided missile destroyer USS Kidd and the Coast Guard's Legend-class cutter Monroe sailed through the waters between China and Taiwan Friday. This was the 8th time that the U.S. Navy was sending a warship through the contested water. The ship's lawful transit through the Taiwan Strait demonstrates the U.S. commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific, a statement from the Navy's Japan-based 7th Fleet said. The 127-meter-long Monroe arrived in the region in mid-August for a month-long deployment. Earlier in the week, the Monroe was seen training with a Japanese Coast Guard ship, the ASO, in the East China Sea. The transit comes as China launched assault drills earlier in the month at multiple locations near Taiwan, in response to what it called external interference and provocations. Warships and fighter jets, dispatched by the PLA Eastern Theater Command, had exercised off the southwest and southeast of Taiwan, practicing joint live-fire assaults, and testing the troops' integrated joint operation capabilities. During the recent drill, Beijing had also put to use a large civilian cargo ferry to transport troops, weapons, and supplies, hinting at its ability to mobilize its civilian vessels during a Taiwan invasion. Earlier this month, officers from the U.S. and Taiwanese Coast Guards met to discuss improving cooperation. The U.S. State Department had also recently approved the sale of 40 self-propelled howitzers to Taiwan. The island nation had then thanked the U.S. for the sale, saying it would help maintain a rock-solid self-defense and regional peace and stability. Senior Pentagon officials had also held talks with the Chinese military for the first time since President Joe Biden took office in January to focus on managing risk between the two countries, a report by Reuters said. China considers Taiwan a renegade province and has vowed to eventually unify Taiwan with the mainland, using force if necessary. This comes as top military officials in the U.S. predict that a possible military action can happen in the next 6 years. Meanwhile, the chaotic U.S. departure from Kabul has presented a golden opportunity for China, but testing U.S. resolve over Taiwan's independence would be a big miscalculation on Beijing's part, according to experts. Through its media, the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, has been pushing the narrative that the U.S. is not reliable, and that Washington would leave Taiwan in the lurch just like its Afghan abandonment, should Beijing invade the island. Beijing has waged a growing campaign of military intimidation and propaganda against the democratic island, and recent efforts by China to undermine the Taiwan people's confidence in U.S. support are not surprising, according to Dean Chang, senior research fellow at the Heritage Foundation. But China would be engaging in remarkably risky behavior if it chose to use force against Taiwan. The United States could be unpredictable when it comes to deciding to use force in defense of a country that's being attacked, he said. It's useful to recall the South Korean example in 1950 and the Kuwait example in 1990, to grasp the possibility of the United States defending Taiwan, he said.